I'm on vacation. I was really burnt out after Evolution and the NXT Great American Bash and All In, Slammiversary. You boys been watching a lot of wrestling, okay? I was tired, so I just kind of took a break and I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do with this channel going forward and figuring that out. And do I want to bring more different types of entertainment to it and everything? A football season's coming back, so I'm trying to figure all this out. But I had to halt my vacation to talk about this. If you have not known, breaking news, Hulk Hogan has unfortunately passed away. Hulk Hogan passed away. He died at the age of 71. I don't believe we have any specifics why officially yet. I heard cardiac arrest, but don't quote me on that. It's just really sad. And it's sad because of he is, no matter how you feel about Hulk Hogan or Terry Boyer, because I got some damn feelings about Terry Boyer and some of the things he said about black people in the past, his whole run with Trump and the Kamala Harris thing, comments he made. I ain't like none of it. But when we're talking about Hulk Hogan, the character, when we're talking about the WWE and what the character Hulk Hogan means to the business, he's an icon. He is the immortal Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania will live on forever. No matter how we like it because of the person who played him, no matter how we like it, how you slice it, how you dice it, Hulk Hogan, most people aren't watching wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. If there's no Hulk, bro, what? If there's no Hulk Hogan, would we be watching pro wrestling on a professional main stage level scale that we watching on now? Is this business have the crossover appeal in the mainstream without the likes of Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant? These people took the business to new levels by not only professional wrestling, but then also going to do movies and get your name up. And Hulk Hogan's one of the biggest things. You want to talk about sponsors? Hulk Hogan was huge. When you look at the 1980s, there was nobody bigger than Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is a megastar. He really was. You look at the WrestleMania. We don't have a WrestleMania 41 without Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania doesn't exist without Hulk Hogan. And you can damn sure argue, does the WWE fail without Hulk Hogan? And then you can kind of also make the argument that Hulk Hogan saved the WWE. He helped start the WWE. He helped start WrestleMania. But then you can kind of argue Hulk Hogan almost put the WWE out of business in spite of all the issues that he had with Vince McMahon. When Hulk Hogan became the third man of the NWO, it changed wrestling forever. It's the greatest heel turn of all time. The only one that ever came close, that people argued that ever came close, was John Cena's heel turn. And it's so insane, man, because like when you really think about it, none of this is possible without Hulk Hogan. And then you get to see how he really tarnished his own legacy, because a part of me as a wrestling fan is so torn, because as a black man, I'm still pissed off for all of the things he said. Super pissed off. Like, what the fuck, bro? Hulk Hogan was a hero to every kid around the world. And when that video surfaced of him making those comments, we all had to look at him differently. It's sad, man. It's really fucking sad. It's really sad. But I will also say that for the people who decide to celebrate his legacy and honor his legacy, I don't have any issues with you. I don't have any qualms with you. Really don't. Because honestly, if you're celebrating Hulk Hogan by watching his matches, watching his stories, that's fine. That's fine. I do feel bad for Brooke Hogan. I feel bad for Nick. And hell, honestly, I feel bad for Eric Bischoff, who's been a lifetime friend of Hulk Hogan's, and now they started a company together, Real American Freestyle Wrestling. They started a company together, and then this news passes right when they were about to launch. That's really sad. I feel bad for Jimmy Hart, who's always been by Hulk Hogan's side. I feel bad for Brutus Barber Beefcake, who's always been by his side as well. I feel so bad, man. This is a lot of, this is just my raw reaction to hearing the news that Hulk Hogan passed. Problematic? You're damn right he's problematic. I've said it on this channel before, I've said it again. I don't care for the guy under Hulk Hogan. Who the real actor is playing Hulk Hogan, I don't really care for him. Hulk Hogan, the character, is an icon. He isn't a legend. He is immortal. And I know Andre the Giant will be up there waiting for him, and a bunch of other wrestlers that some, Hulk Hogan kind of buried, will all be waiting for him to be up there. It's like half the 80s of the 80s wrestling is up there. And that's another thing. I would love to talk to wrestling fans who were born in who were like watching wrestling in the 80s. How do y'all feel? If you were watching wrestling in the 80s, how do y'all feel? Because a lot of your heroes, your Macho Mans, your Randy Savages, your Roddy Pipers, your Andre the Giants, Sid Justice, Ultimate Warrior, a lot of your stars, unfortunately, Virgil, a lot of your stars have passed away. A lot of the people you grew up watching, the Road Warriors are gone. A lot of the people you grew up watching have passed away. So I want to see how any of the wrestling fans from the 80s, how are you feeling? How are you guys feeling about this news, hearing about Hulk Hogan? And what was the first memory you've had of Hulk Hogan? What's your favorite Hulk Hogan match? I would love to see how you guys are feeling. Because for me, my favorite match of Hulk Hogan's was obviously it's Hogan Rock. That's another thing about Hulk Hogan. He's had two of the biggest matches of all time. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3, in front of 93,000 fans at the Silverdome in Detroit. And then he had Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, Toronto Sky Dome, WrestleMania 18. Two of the biggest matches of all time. And hell. And for me, one of my favorite feuds, because one of the very first feuds I watched personally as a kid on my own live and enjoyed it, was the Hulk Hogan Vince McMahon WrestleMania 19 match and storyline. I really loved that storyline. 20 years in the making, and it was like a public display of real life tension and heat. It was really like a public air out between Hogan and Vince, and Hogan going through the steroid trials with Vince, and damn near almost getting the motherfucker locked up. And then talking about Vince saying he created Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan saying he did this himself. Because technically, when under Vern Gagne, he was becoming Hulk Hogan already, and then Vince just put the dollars behind him. Wrestling, one thing about wrestling I would say is, if you don't know your history, this news may not affect you like other people. And I feel like wrestling history is something you always got to continue to learn. And as a wrestling fan, I've done the work to continue to learn and will continue to do the work to learn. And as a black man, I will say it's very hard to look at Hulk Hogan. It's very hard. When Hulk Hogan got booed out of Intuit Dome, the first reaction I had was, I ain't gonna lie, I laughed my ass off. I thought it was hilarious. But now knowing also, in hindsight, that was in January, and that was his last time you saw Hulk Hogan in front of a WWE live audience, kind of fucked up. Look, just a little bit. It's a little fucked up. But then again, it's more of it's triumph and tragedy in a way. And that's a lot of wrestler story, is triumph and tragedy. Can you be remembered? I don't know. It's interesting. It's just so crazy how, you would not think, if this was 2010, 2011, 2012, if Hulk Hogan passed away in 2011, 2012, 2013, I don't think anybody would be saying anything negative about Hulk Hogan. I don't think anybody would be doing that. But in 2025, after everything he's said and the things he's done, it's a very split 50-50. And I would say people are entitled to feel how they feel. And people are going to remember Hulk the way they choose to remember Hulk. And for me, I'm torn. I don't know. I love the character. I appreciate what Hulk Hogan has done for the business. I genuinely appreciate everything Hulk Hogan's done for this business, and understand and appreciate that the fact of, without Hulk Hogan, we don't know professional wrestling as it is. I can fully appreciate that, but also say, am I a fan of Terry Bollea and the comments he's made, especially against my own people? Fuck no, and fuck Terry Bollea. That's how I felt. That's still kind of how I feel. It's very unfortunate, but I still understand, and I still know that there are people out there who are genuinely and deeply hurt by this news. My heart does go out to Eric Bischoff, Conrad, anybody else, Jimmy Hart, Nick and Brooke, of course, Hulk Hogan's wife, anybody who had a relationship with Hulk Hogan and they're deeply saddened by this news. I do wish them my condolences. I do give them that, and people are people. They have genuine relationships that I don't have. This is somebody from the outside looking in, and I do give them my best well wishes. It is just real sad, but I will say he's right about one thing: Hulkamania will run wild forever. And the reason why it will run wild forever is because WWE will continue to live on. And when you look at WWE, you cannot tell the story of WWE without mentioning Hulk Hogan. And I'm not going to lie to you. Before I go, I'll make this last point. It's so unfortunate, but it makes me think about how we will remember Vince McMahon the day he passed. It just makes you think about that, man. Like, a lot of these legends and stars and Hall of Famers, they are getting up there in age, and we have to hold on to them as much as we can. But then it makes me think about Vince, and I go, you can't tell the story of professional wrestling without Vince McMahon. But when he dies, how are people going to react? How will people remember Vince? And that's a very real thing to think about. I hope it doesn't happen for a very long time, but that's a real thing to think about. But my closing statements in this is, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. I know there's a bunch of wrestlers waiting up there for you in the afterlife. I know Gorilla Monsoon's up there. I know Andre the Giant's up there. I know Macho probably got some shit to say to you up there. I know Roddy Piper's going to bury you up there. I know there's a lot going on up there. There's a lot of characters up there. There's a lot of good wrestlers, great American, great, wonderful wrestlers up there. A lot of your friends are up there. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. And for the people who love you, I'm sincerely sorry. And Hulkamania will continue to live on because the WWE will continue to live on. And you cannot tell that story of the WWE without the immortal Hulk Hogan. If you are one of those people who do not like Hulk Hogan, who don't approve of what Hulk Hogan said, I'm one of them. I understand. I'm one of them. I truly am one of them. But shit happens, man. And it's sad. We all have our time to go. We all make mistakes. Do I technically forgive Hulk Hogan? No, because it doesn't really fucking matter. He's not here anymore. And now I think it's best for all wrestling fans. One thing we can do is be there for each other and continue to move on, because we do have SummerSlam next week. And I hope SummerSlam next week is more of a celebration of pro wrestling instead of us bickering back and forth about this shit. So I'm going to leave it at there. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It has been your boy D, Forever Gang, and until forever finds you.